it's a real simple thing. There's all this controversy and people battling over the books. It is so simple. Prabhupada's books that were published during his lifetime are they're historical documents that while Prabhupada was here in this world, he authorized and published through his representatives these books. And so that's just a historical fact. And then in the future, you can't change that, because then no matter what you say, they're just not the books that Prabhupada authorized, even if the philosophy is the same, and even if it's actually it's closer, these books are closer to what Prabhupada originally dictated. What the BBT should have done, what I told them to do about 20 years ago, which they very happily ignored, my advice, and then the people that are criticizing these edited books, I told them the same thing, and they very happily ignored this good advice. So it just goes to show, how the extraordinary capacity a lot of people have to ignore good advice. So what I advise, and I'll advise you right now, if you ever become a BBT trustee, and that is that all you have to do, really, all you have to do is just publish the original book as Prabhupada authorized it, but add appendices. In other words, in the back of the book, you say that in the purport to, 7.5, I'm just making that up, Prabhupada originally dictated or composed this text, which was left out, so we're restoring here. Or you can either put it as footnotes, which means at the bottom of the page beneath, like if there's just like a line or two, you can do a footnote. If it's a much longer text, you could put it in the back as an appendix, or as what's called an endnote. There are footnotes and endnotes and appendixes. So that way, you would have the original book as Prabhupada did it, and then you would have all the additional material that was inappropriately taken out. As far as the editing, the original editing should be restored, because that's what Prabhupada authorized. Not only that, the BBT argued, I think, that, well, we can edit better now, which certainly seems to be the case. However, every generation practically has its own taste in editing. And so if you change Prabhupada's books because you want to re-edit them, then basically every 30 or 40 years, we're going to have a new version of Prabhupada's books, which is very impractical for obvious reasons. So that's all you got to do. Publish the original book, put in the additional material that comes from Prabhupada, that we can prove it came from Prabhupada, but was left out, put it back in as footnotes, endnotes, or appendices. And for God's sake, what's the problem? But as practical, and that's, by the way, what serious publishers do. But so I hope someday the BBT will see the wisdom of this. And I hope someday the people who are attacking the BBT will see the wisdom of this.